Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chum Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, what we do is typically go over crypto news that I don't have time to watch. I do it with all of you guys. So let's see who is in the chat first, and then we will get into this. Mr. Dumpster Fire, good morning, man. 56, my first member. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. We have Chris Hanley, Travelers Travels. Let's see. Andrew Masad, my man. Good to see you, buddy. Ogre, good morning. Good morning. Jason, good morning. Dakota Miner, good to see you. Tim I Am Crypto. Let's see. Scrolling down. Ursa, good to see you. Galaxy, we have Game with Smokey Dan, the one who was Neomorphous. John Germain, my man, good to see you, buddy. Triple Nickel, good to see you. Black Hat, we have Bearded Cryptic, Crypto KJ, my man Yeti, good morning. Are you actually home now, back in the EU, or are you still over in the US? Let me know. All right, let's see. Are we there? Yes, a son of a rabbit panda. We are not, but we will be soon. All right, let's do this. See what the market's looking like today, and then we'll get into this. We have Bitcoin looking like 43,165. We have Ethereum 2312. Are we on the road to 10,000? We're going to be talking about that this morning. I'm going to watch a video from Mr. Lark Davis. He's actually a really good YouTuber, and he does a lot of really good informational videos, and I thought it was worth watching, so we're going to do that this morning. All right, let's see. We have XRP at 52 cents, Dogecoin just under 8 cents, ETC at 24.7, XMR at 168. I was debating on buying a bag of XMR. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys like XMRs? Anybody hold it here? Let me know in the chat. Very interested to know. Still stateside. All right, cool, Mr. Yeti. We have Kaspa at 10 cents. Looks like, oh, Render actually. Render is up to $4.83. It's just pretty freaking good. If I do say so myself. Solana back under $100, $98. All right, let's look at the week over here on Crypto Bubbles. Biggest earner on the week seems to be Teo Bittensour right here, $443, ranked at number 37. But look at Render, 23% on the week, which is pretty decent. Again, $4.83. I really wish I just held this instead of selling out of it like a puss. Damn, that's a big oof on my end. Let's see. I think XMR train has already left. Yeah, you know what? It has. It just I don't know, man. I feel like people are gonna want that privacy again at some point for some reason. I don't know. What other like privacy coins you guys into? I guess that's probably a better question. Let me know in the chat if there's any that you guys are actually like into more than XMR. Say let's see. XMR QT wallet was hacked a few years ago, and they stole 75 plus XMR from me. No, oh my god, what is that? What does that equate to? Where is XMR? Let me how much is it right now? 100 and something. That sucks, man. That's like 7,500 bucks, right? Where the hell is XMR? Why is it not here? All right, hold on, we gotta look. Oh, that's XLM. That's not the right one. Damn it. This is a rocky start this morning, and I hate this stupid sidebar. XMR right here in the green. I'm not used to seeing it in the green. That's the problem. 168 bucks. Yeah, damn, that's close to 10k, huh? Damn, that's rough. That's rough, man. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Mr. Jim C. All right, looking back over here, let's see. On the day, Rose looks like to be the biggest earner. Oasis Network looks like it's 13.3% up on the day. Again, I like to just check out the price of crypto overall. I don't see anything else jumping at me. What is this? Flare's up in 96th place on the top 100 coins at 2 cents, 2.6, a little over 2.5. Not too bad. Jupiter's down 7.3%. I don't know if anybody held that Jupiter airdrop or if you guys sold out of it. That's yeah, hopefully you sold out of it and you guys didn't lose a lot. But I wonder if that kid actually, some kid got an airdrop of $1 million worth of Jupiter, like a young kid, and I don't know if he sold it. I hope he did. That's probably why it dumped, to be honest. If he didn't sell it, you're a fool. You should have sold it. 100%. You hit a lottery, get out. All right, Fear and Greed Index looks like 60 over here in the greed. To be honest, I don't worry about it till it's about 75 or below 25. Just how it is. All right, let's see top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, XRP, USDC, Lido Staked, Ether, Cardano, and Avalanche in 10th place. Dogecoin still in 11th place. I think it'll be holding strong there for quite some time. Actually, Chainlink's kind of gaining on it. Look at that. Look at this little, I know these charts are ass, but look at this. Interesting. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's only 700 million behind. Chainlink. What do you guys think about Chainlink? Let me know in the chat. There's been a lot of stuff on the YouTube, I guess, about Chainlink. Solana, baby, the one who was. Yes, Solana. Let's see. In 5th place. doing well, doing quite well. $42 billion market cap. Solana, how much more room do you guys think this has to grow? Do you think it's gonna reach up here? It's gonna get in third place? What do you think? Over 96? It'd be pretty awesome, not gonna lie. It would be pretty awesome. I do need to I was debating whether to flip some Ethereum into Solana, but I don't know anymore. It's such a hard decision to make. All right, we have Litecoin in 20th place, Bitcoin Cash in 22nd, Ethereum Classic in 25th, XMR's in 29th. I've already seen that. Let's see. Kaspa's holding 41st place, $2.3 billion market cap. Arbitrum's right behind it, 2.2. Not too bad, not too bad. Render's in 49th. Nice, 1.8 billion. All right, looks good, looks good. How are we looking for how's Honey doing? Oh, didn't mean to click that. Let's see how Honey's doing today. One of these D-pin coins that we all hold, or that I hold anyways. 15 cents, taking a little bit of a poop the last couple days, but hopefully it comes back. I'm actually going to be recording a video today for the price per mile that I'm getting on my Hivemapper. I actually did a spreadsheet out yesterday, so I got to kind of get it together and actually record it today. So that's going to drop tomorrow at some point, so stay tuned for that. But this again, if you guys don't know what Honey is or Hivemapper is, just a little dash cam you put in your car and you get paid to drive. Pretty simple. All right, let's get on to the mining stuff and see what we're looking like over here. We have the WindMiner K9 over on Mine the ASIC, the 10.3 terahash unit, making $67.39 a day. We have the KS3 the Ice River KS3 rather, 8 terahash unit, making $50.81 a day. The KS3M 6 terahash unit, making $35.71 a day. Oh, that looks bad. I don't know why that just looks really bad to me. Was it lower than that yesterday? I think it was, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. The X16P, Mr. Max Voltage, should be getting this for his review soon. I just sent it out to him. 5.8 gigahash unit, 1900 watts. You guys know I was pulling like 17 or something if you guys saw that video. But I was doing a bunch of different testing on it, and it was making about 20 bucks a day when I had it. Right now it's making 16.59, mining ETH W and ZIL. ETH W is one of those coins that I never cared to try to mine. Look at this Superscaler K10. If you guys don't know, Carlson has a bit stream for it. This is an FPGA, and it's making $9.69 a day. I'm shocked to see Carlson on the top of the list here. That's kind of neat and good for that project. We have that KS2 Ice River making $11.74 a day. That's the 2 terahash unit. We have the Ice River KS1 1 terahash unit making $5.87 a day. Man, that's crazy. The X16Q right here, 1950 mega hashes. Mine gets about 2 gigahashes, so 2000 mega hashes. Mining ETH W and ZIL again, top of the charts, $5.62 a day. Best coin to mine on UMiner. UMiner, what is UMiner? UMiner, I've never heard of that. UMiner, I have never heard of this site. Get out. What is this? Oh, this is a buy stuff place. I mean, you buy shit here. Basic miners. Oh god, I don't know, man. I've never seen the site ever. I apologize, so pardon my ignorance, but yes, I've never seen that site. If you guys are interested in ASICs, I do have a link to Terra hashes down below. They actually are priced all in to your door, so that's what's cool. I don't know about this site. Some of these sites, they'll give you a price, and then when you get it to your door, you'll get smacked with tariffs, or you'll have to pay the tariffs before you get them sent to you. Oh, you meant to say unMineable. Okay, I was gonna say I've never heard of UMine. I'm shocked it was actually a site. unMineable. You know what? unMineable. Let me see. Where are we at? Are there any new coins on there? Let's see. So, I think it's pretty awesome that for one they got Dynex on here, the Dynex hash algorithm, right? Or Dynex solve algorithm rather. They have Carlson hash on here as well. And I think, did they open Pyron on this? I can't remember. I think they put Pyron hash on here at some point. But to be honest, right now I have my Bitcoin miner, my S19K, which is, where is it? It's somewhere here. Right here, S19K Pro, 120 terahash unit. This is making $2.47 a day. I have it down at Terra hosting, and it is going to unMineable, and it's actually converting to Kaspa right now because I feel like the gap is very good for Kaspa, and I think my returns overall are going to be greater, I guess. So that's what I'm doing. But I mean, honestly, any of these low coins are good to get a bag of. You know what I mean? Just get a bag and jump on to the next one if you're gonna do the unmineable thing. That would be my suggestion, but you guys obviously to each his own. You know, Lithium's probably gonna go far, Dynex is probably gonna go far in this next run, so those are all good coins you can get into. We have the Jasminer X4Q. Let's continue here. 1.04 gigahashes at let's see, $2.32 per day, mining this Canixum or whatever the hell it is. I still can never pronounce that right, and I'll always pronounce it wrong. We have the Ice River KS0 Pro 200 gigahash unit, making $1.23 a day. You guys know I have 8 of these on the shelf next to me. Oh, speaking of Ice Rivers, actually, a lot of these things have been blowing up. You guys notice that? Everybody that's overclocking this shit. I personally refused to put those overclocks on my machines, and I'm glad that I did, because everybody is getting slammed with these things. So if you guys overclocked your units, please make sure that your cooling is very well done, or I don't know, I would suggest just go back to regular firmware so you don't screw up your shit. That's just my opinion. Anyways, Ice River KS0, the original 100 gigahash unit, making 58 cents a day. Pretty terrible, pretty terrible. All right, let's check out GPUs over here. Hashrate.no, see what they got. Hiron, top of the charts, look at that, for the 4090. Hyper and Alethea as well. We have Cortex here. We have let's see, what else? BTG and AIPG on the top of the charts. Pretty good. We have Conflux and Radiant for the A5000. Does anybody have one of these? A5000. Nexa 4060 Ti. Interesting. And Xano down here. What's this one? Who's mining on a laptop? Please don't do that. 3070 Ti laptop. Xano, whatever that is. Don't forget the PSU too. Yeah, honestly, man, you get I don't know, just be careful, guys, with these freaking Ice Rivers, please. And yeah, if you're gonna overclock KS0 Pro, you definitely need a different PSU, or do what I did and use the 240 volt server PSU. All right, let's get on to the news of the day. Let's see. Bitcoin rises 3% in a week as analysts expect longer term uptrend, rather. All right, let's see what they got to say, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you hanging out. Let's do it.
Today, crypto prices end the week higher as we enter a historically strong month for the crypto market. Genesis settles an SEC lawsuit over its role in the Gemini Earn lending program. And we take a deep dive into what it'll take for the new spot Bitcoin ETFs to survive in a crowded field.
Crypto KJ said idiots are killing Ice Rivers, people trying to push them too hard without proper cooling. Yeah, very true, very true.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Crypto assets finishing the week on an up note. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin rose more than 1%. It's trading at about $43,200. ETH inched higher to trade at $2,300, and Solana rose nearly 4% to the $100 mark.
Real quick, Jim C in the chat said, I have the KS1 overclocked. I got the Fruition Design Kit pumping, keeping it cool. Yeah, you know what? If you have the Fruition Design Kit, then you're totally fine, I would say. That would be my guess, but I don't know. That whole overclocking thing, they pushed them way too hard, in my opinion.
The week, crypto prices are in the green, outpacing the S&P 500, with Bitcoin up more than 3% and Ether trading higher by 2%. Solana, however, soared nearly 9% this week, and those are all by around noon Eastern. Now, that $100 level is key for Solana. It's been poised for a breakout above that level to new highs, according to Wolf Research, along with other altcoins. They've been coming on strong in recent months, and chart analysts expect them to outperform near term. Now, February is a historically strong month for both Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin has finished 9 of the last 11 Februaries in the green, and ETH, which hasn't been around for as long, has finished higher in 6 of the last 7. But Bitcoin could see a little more consolidation here over the next month or two, analysts tell me, although there's not much to worry about in terms of its longer-term uptrend. Meanwhile, Ether and altcoins are poised to take the limelight in the next few weeks. ETH had a very active January. You saw those outsized rallies after the Bitcoin ETF approval, but it really didn't get much attention. Standard Chartered predicts it could rise 70% from current levels if it has the same pre-ETF uptrend that Bitcoin did.
Amazing. I know a lot of you guys don't like Ethereum in the chat, but again, at the end of the day, you want to talk shit or you want to make money, just pay attention to what's happening with it. Make money if you can. It's my opinion.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Crypto lender Genesis has settled an SEC lawsuit over its part in the Gemini Earn lending program, agreeing to a $21 million fine that will be paid only if Genesis is able to fully repay customers in its bankruptcy. According to documents filed in bankruptcy court on Wednesday evening, the settlement will allow the lender to focus on repaying customers and other creditors. It will also help it avoid the costs and risks of defending itself from an SEC lawsuit. The week before Genesis filed for bankruptcy in January 2023, the SEC sued the crypto lender, alleging that it and crypto exchange Gemini illegally sold securities to investors through their jointly managed crypto lending program, Gemini Earn. Genesis did not admit or deny wrongdoing in the settlement agreement. We reached out to DCG, the parent company of Genesis, for comment, but didn't hear back right away.
Of course they didn't.
Up next, Binance froze more than $4 million worth of Ripple's XRP tokens.
Real quick, Fully Electric said, CCXD, good morning all. Gemini Earn sucks and they still have over 260K locked up. What? Crazy.
Tied to this week's more than $110 million exploit. That's according to this X post yesterday from the crypto exchange's CEO, Richard Tang, where he noted that the exploit was flagged to exchanges. Tang went on to write that Binance will continue to support Ripple in their investigations and their efforts to retrieve back the funds, including closely monitoring the majority of funds still in the exploiters' external wallets in case they deposit to Binance. We told you on Wednesday that the tokens were stolen from a wallet belonging to Ripple's executive chairman, Chris Larson, who said that there had been a breach to his personal XRP accounts, but not of Ripple itself. Finally,
watch porn on your phone, people, not on the computer. Just saying, you'll get hacked.
3 people have been charged by U.S. officials with a SIM swap scam that reportedly drained more than $400 million in funds from FTX.
You know what? These SIM swap scams, too, have been really bad. They really have. You guys need to be careful with all this shit.
The Department of Justice alleges that between March of 2021 and April 2023, Robert Powell of Illinois, Emily Hernandez of Colorado, and Carter Rohn of Indiana conspired to carry out SIM swaps, then steal victims' money, including virtual currencies. Now, the indictment doesn't call out FTX by name, but Bloomberg reports that the bankrupt exchange is, in fact, victim company 1 in the filing. We reached out to FTX, but haven't received a response. All right, turning to Bitcoin ETFs for our main story. It's been more than 3 weeks since the SEC approved the trading of these new products, including those from BlackRock, Grayscale, and Fidelity. Now, it's a high-stakes battle for market share and customers, a fight that not all of the new funds may survive. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan finds out how the Bitcoin ETF experiment has been playing out in real time.
Check out this list of all the spot Bitcoin ETFs available on public markets. Seems like a lot, right? The SEC's decision to allow spot Bitcoin ETFs back on January 10th created a very crowded market for these products nearly overnight.
This is really the culmination of 10 years of work. Investor support, the Grayscale team, everybody's been working tirelessly towards this outcome.
I feel like this Grayscale guy is going to lose out with his attitude, like my noble attitude. I went to bat for crypto, and I think we should have the recognition and keep our interest rates higher than everybody else by 6 times because we were the noble ones and you guys should pay it. Like, no, I feel like Grayscale is going to get completely in this situation. That's just my opinion.
This is probably the most important moment in Bitcoin's history, or at least in the last 10 years. It's a huge unlock for access to the space. We think it's an incredibly important moment.
11 ETFs or ETPs coming to market on one day is actually historic for the ETF industry. You haven't seen this kind of level of competition on an exposure day one ever.
That's how they had to do it. If they approved one at a time, you know how unfair that would have been for other companies? It would have been a try to catch up race and would have never happened.
The ETF providers are looking ahead to figure out how to drive investment in their product over their competitors. One way to do that, by lowering fees. Most of the approved ETFs have fees of between 0.19% and 0.3%, but Grayscale stands out at 1.5%.
Real quick, Crypto KJ said, one company I'm surprised doesn't have an ETF is Coinbase. It makes the most sense, right? No, because Coinbase is the custodian for all of these or 11 out of 13 of these ETFs, right? And they don't trade like stocks and stuff or ETFs typically, right? So they're not going to have that kind of thing. They just do the traditional Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever crypto they have on the platform.
Speaking with CNBC from the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein defended the higher fee, pointing to his firm being the largest Bitcoin fund, having a 10-year track record of operating successfully, and having a diversified investor base.
And also going to court or going to bat for crypto.
Sonnenschein also said he thinks most of the approved Bitcoin ETFs won't survive, and he isn't the only asset manager that feels that way.
I do think a few won't make it. But what I do expect to happen is that financial advisors and other institutions will probably move towards the other managers that they have contracts with and sales agreements with. So that's going to be one of the factors. Typically, the way that advisors and money allocators work is they like to choose 2 or 3 different managers that run the similar style ETF or the same ETF. So usually one bucket is, the big manager that everybody knows, which is, like the BlackRocks and the Fidelities of the world. And then the other bucket is usually the niche experts in the space.
We do believe there will be consolidation, but it's going to take time. I feel that almost every one of our peers in the space will give it at least a year. It was a great idea. They saw the opportunity. It made sense, right? This is every client has been asking for. And so they thought it will be fine. And I know a lot of them have had operational challenges. We haven't, but I think that they're giving it a try. And, I respect that, but I do believe we'll have a much smaller universe of competitors this time next year.
So which are most likely to succeed? Well, Sylvia Jablonski of Defiance ETF says it could depend on a couple of things. 1, having an existing client base like Grayscale could help, as many investors wouldn't want to sell their holdings and take a tax hit. 2, it
That's
could
true.
simply be a matter of scale and budget. Take BlackRock. The investment giant's ETF just hit $2 billion in assets under management. Jablonski says as long as the ETF provider can break even, they will continue to exist. Another big factor for the year will be the price of Bitcoin directly. Following the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US, the price of Bitcoin shot up above $49,000 and then quickly came back down, trading as low as the $38,000 level in recent days.
That's because the big guys sold out and took the opportunity to scare the shit out of people and buy back in. They ain't stupid.
ETFs have followed suit. Since launching, all the ETFs are down between 5 and 8.5% as of February 1st, along with a broad sell-off in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
I think what happened was a lot of people got excited and tried to front run the ETFs launching. So that drove the price of Bitcoin up a little bit higher than it should have been. So when the ETFs launched, the price of Bitcoin definitely came down following that first day. In addition to that, we're still not seeing the full effects of a Bitcoin ETF just yet. Financial advisors are still looking at this asset class, still looking at the ETFs themselves and trying to decide when's a good opportune time to put their clients in. I do believe that will be coming in the next 3 to 6 months.
We're very excited.
I agree, actually. 3 to 6 months, probably. I would say shortly after the halving, we're going to see a lot more investing into Bitcoin before it actually explodes. All these guys talk in the background. It's not like just all this news shit we see, right? They're all talking in the background before shit happens. They're not stupid.
Excited that Bitcoin now is in the ETF wrapper and therefore very accessible at very low prices. What we do have, and there was speculation beforehand, will this be a sell on the news? We said yes, and then we were hearing that so much that we thought, well, maybe not. Well, it turns out that FTX is, I guess it's nearly $1 billion in GBTC, has been sold as the Bitcoin ETF has come out. And I think that's been part of the pressure. I do think there's sell on the news because I think some people expected it to hold a little more than it has. But this has not disturbed our point of view at all.
Because it's normal price action for Bitcoin, and a lot of noobs or people that get into this just don't know anything about crypto. They don't understand that this is normal price action for Bitcoin.
This is one of the most important investments of our lifetime. We're very happy to be a part of this movement, providing more access to Bitcoin.
These ETFs are also competing to convince people that they're a better investment over just buying Bitcoin itself.
For me, I think the biggest negative implication is that the core promise for me of crypto, of Bitcoin, is this idea of self-custodial products where you have ownership of your own money. That is the whole dream of the technology, is people being in control of their own money. And these ETFs, while they are great, they are the creation of a financial instrument where someone else owns your money, and you have access to it in the form of, this publicly traded share on this stock exchange.
Another potential drawback? These ETFs are limited to stock market hours, while crypto can be traded 24/7.
That's a perfect point. I'm glad she just brought that up, actually, because people again that don't understand Bitcoin is, when you guys see these big spikes, ups or downs, if it goes up 20% or down 20%, guess what? They're shutting that shit off for the rest of the day. And your ETF, you can no longer trade. If you have your own Bitcoin, you can do whatever the hell you want. Send it to an exchange and sell it all day, 24/7 a day, 365, whenever you want, right? And it's just, that's something people don't really understand. I'm glad she actually just mentioned that.
I think also, as we start to think about Bitcoin, if we do see, huge amounts of investment into these ETFs, there's obviously a scarcity of the underlying asset as well.
And you know what? When that's really going to come into effect is the next bear run. Like when we have the real major pullback, right? Like we've seen, we went down to what? It was below 20, right? Last bull run. Bear run rather, after the bull run. So once we see, an all-time high and then a crazy 40% pullback like we've seen, that's when all of those people are going to get wrecked in the ETFs because they can't get out. Even if they panic, they're completely effed until the next day.
So that's something we don't need to worry about today, but something to consider on the forward. For me, I think the positive aspect is the breadth of the market that it can focus on.
So what's next in 2024? Now that spot Bitcoin ETFs are trading, all eyes are on whether the SEC will greenlight an Ether ETF. The agency is due to give decisions on those applications beginning in May.
I thought they already delayed this. I don't know if I'm wrong. I swear I thought we already saw that they already, Gensler or the SEC already delayed the ETF for Ethereum, but I could be wrong. Real quick, Black Hat team in the chat said most common investors also don't have access to pre-market and after-hours trading, and that's very true.
BlackRock, Invesco, ARK, and VanEck are among the firms in line for approval, as well as Grayscale, which is seeking to convert its existing Ethereum trust into an ETF.
Snakes.
Now, just because Bitcoin ETFs won approval in January, that doesn't guarantee Ether ETFs will too.
The problem with Ethereum is the staking, right? How is that not a security? That's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't know. How are they not going to label that as a security? Do you know what I mean?
What we did this week is it's cabined to one non-security commodity called Bitcoin. Like we've had gold, spot, exchange-traded products, and silver exchange-traded products in the past and approved in the past. This is cabined just to that one non-security commodity token.
I love how he always shakes, but at the same time, I think it's a medical condition, so you can't really hold that against him. Mr. Andrew Masada. Ted said they delayed the company's ETH ETF, but ETH ETF real cutoff is September. Gotcha.
Okay, that's all for crypto.
All right, shout out to CNBC Television for that. All right, now we're going to get into, actually, guys, hit that like button, please. I just wanted to make sure I hit that. All right, we're going to listen to Mr. Lark Davis. Now, this guy, very educational videos. If you guys don't know who he is, links in the description below. Go check out his channel. He's very good. He's got almost 500,000 subs. That's crazy. Anyways, Ethereum to $4,000 by May 23rd, last chance, right? So May 23rd is the Ethereum ETF deadline, or no, it's the first deadline or whatever, but I think they're going to delay it and they're just going to push it off till the last freaking minute, but whatever. Anyways, let's see what he has to say. I think Ethereum will probably get to, in this next bull run, personally, over 5 figures. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. That's kind of why I'm still holding mine and I'm not getting out of it, but to each his own. If you guys can make money, like I said, you want to talk shit or make money? I choose make money. Let's do it.
Ethereum is going to $4,000 by May 23rd. That is according to Standard Chartered Bank. Their thesis is that we have a spot Ethereum ETF coming, and that's going to drive massive hype.
Now, real quick, I want you guys to understand that anybody that tells you anything where things are going, nobody knows. Please do your own research. Please take everything people on YouTube, even myself, anybody says with a grain of salt, okay? Got to do your own thing. You cannot just okay, it's definitely going to go to $4,000 because nobody knows. It could go to freaking $400. All right, just know that.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the bullish catalysts forming up for Ethereum in 2024. Our road to $10,000 ETH lays before us, and 4K could be the first major pit stop. Let's take a look here at what they have to say. So, Standard Chartered Bank is saying that the SEC is likely to approve a spot Ethereum ETF on May 23rd. Of course, they're not going to do it beforehand because that's not how the SEC rolls. They're going to wait until 4:55 on May 23rd, blast out a press release, and then I'll run home before anybody asks any questions.
Unless somebody hacks their Twitter and they release it early, a statement that they had pre-typed up. That was such a ridiculous thing. Anyways, who else thinks that Ethereum's going to have an issue because of the staking stuff? Right? Doesn't that kind of make it like a security? Like, or wouldn't they view it as that? If you're like making dividends on something you're staking, right? I mean, am I wrong there? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. And also the Ethereum thing with the unlimited supply is one of the things that really bothers me about it.
That's how the SEC operates. Anyway, this is very interesting. I also like their very interesting, curious.
Oh, and then somebody actually mentioned a couple streams ago too that Ethereum Vitalik actually admitted that he has the private keys to the burn addresses, which means you're not really burning the tokens, just going to Vitalik. Some bullshit.
Fascinating. Lovely.
Just saying.
Price prediction. $4,000 target if it mimics Bitcoin's pre-approval performance. Now, we have generally seen Ethereum underperforming versus Bitcoin in the run-up to the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. But what happened as soon as the spot Bitcoin ETF was approved? Ethereum pumped.
It did. It held,
because
actually.
The market then knew, oh, we're getting an Ethereum ETF next. And so far, the SEC has been delaying their decisions on these Ethereum spot ETFs. But as Standard Chartered Bank thinks here, and I tend to agree with, we're probably just going to have to wait until May 23rd to get our approval for that. But once it looks like the approval is going to happen, once we start seeing the rumors circulating from insiders connected to BlackRock who knows somebody and told their uncle and who told their taxi driver, who told the reporter over at some crypto media agency that the spot ETF is coming. So watch out for that. I think it could be a very big narrative for the first 2 months of this year. And here's something very interesting as well that supports this potential mega price rally for Ethereum. And it's this.
Real quick, in the chat, Fully Electric said staking is 100% of security. Okay, thank you. He said, however, just like XRP, they can slip the two making rules for institution versus individual. Ooh, okay. Interesting. You know what, Fully Electric? You're literally like the wisest person in crypto to me that's in the community, because you're just like such an OG. Shout out to you.
Did you know?
Appreciate you.
Typically, January to May are Ethereum's biggest months, with on average, except of course for in bear market years, 2018 was pretty rough, minus 24%, minus 53% in February. In March 2020, minus 39%.
That's really interesting. January to May is the biggest months for Ethereum.
March 2022 minus 26%. But generally, that first half of the year is a big time for Ethereum.
That's something to think about.
Not always going to be like that, but certainly interesting to see, isn't it?
It's not always going to repeat, but it often rhymes, right?
If that's the case, if we do have the ETF narrative heating up, then we could see, well, what's actually going to be a rather typical year for ETH. Cool. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, like, hey, wait a second, Lark, didn't you just make a video the other day talking about how Solana just flipped Ethereum? Well, it is true. Solana has just flipped Ethereum, and we're seeing major metrics on Solana starting to outpace key metrics in the Ethereum ecosystem. Especially
and see, this is why I've been thinking about flipping into some Solana.
Just counting layer one versus layer one and not looking at all the stuff happening on it.
I'm going to put a poll in the chat right now because I want to know what you guys would do. Give me 1 second.
Layer two, which is hard to discount, but if you're making an apple-to-apple comparison, maybe it's a bit more apt, perhaps. But still, two things can be true at once. Ethereum can still go to $4,000 because of ETF hype, and Solana can still have huge soaring metrics. And here's something for you. Here's a little thought. What happens when we get an Ethereum ETF? What do you think the market's going to pivot to almost immediately? That we're going to get more altcoin ETFs. And what are the primary candidates for the next ETF products? Well, we've already had big players like Franklin Templeton, a $1.5 trillion asset under management asset manager. They're already tweeting about Solana. So I would highly suspect that when we get our ETH ETF, we'll probably see a Solana ETF, potentially something like a Dogecoin ETF. I know it sounds crazy, but it's probably going to come. A Chainlink ETF, Avalanche ETF, maybe even as soon as the end of the year. That, of course, opens up the floodgates for liquidity into the altcoin space and really makes this market way crazier than it already is. Now, before we get into the other reasons why I think that Ethereum is primed for that move to $4,000 and long-term up to $10,000, I just want to let you know, if you're not yet signed up to Wealth Master newsletter, get signed up. Best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency.
Sorry, I skipped that little shill.
Why is Ethereum so well primed for a major market move? If you look down below my head here, right over there, you will see a chart that's basically been in up-only mode. This is the amount of Ethereum going into the staking contract. Currently, it's at 28.5 million ETH in the staking contract. If all these people wanted to unstake their Ethereum, it would take them 2 years to do. So it's stuck, essentially. When it comes to, hey, price is at $15,000, $10,000, whatever everyone wants to sell today, yeah, you can't sell today. You're going to have to wait 6 months or a year to get your ETH out to be able to sell it. That creates higher price velocity at the top. We're also seeing stuff like this, which helps to build the narrative. Ever since the merge happened, we've seen the total amount of Ethereum decrease by 0.2%. It's only 345,000 ETH coins, not that dramatic, but let's just keep that running over time. How much?
Real quick, I put the poll in the chat. Obviously, this is if you're holding Ethereum, right? What would you do? Flip all the ETH into Sol, hold the Ethereum, flip half your ETH into Sol, or hold equal amounts of both?
ETH will get burned. Ethereum is currently deflationary, not massively deflationary, but deflationary. Pretty impressive. The layer 2 seen on ETH continues to be absolutely something to be reckoned with, continues to be massive. Look at this. Right now, on average, we are seeing Ethereum do about 13.7 transactions per second. And if we take all of the layer 2s together, we're adding another 55 transactions per second on top. So that's what, Arbitrum and Optimism and the others are doing combined right now. We're seeing various days when Arbitrum, for example, is outperforming the Ethereum main chain. So the ETH layer 2 scene is definitely where we're seeing a lot of excitement happening. Of course, we have massive airdrops over there that are going to be coming soon. We have Starknet, which is going to be a massive stimulus for the Ethereum community. That, of course, helps drive the price of ETH up to 4K in that pre-ETF era as well, because people get a lot of free money. And what do they do with their free airdrop money? They go and buy ETH with it. Some of them will restake, but some will just go and buy that sweet, sweet ETH with it. They'll take their airdrop money, move it up to safer bets in the market. ZK Sync's coming, Linea's coming, Scroll's coming, other airdrops are coming. Be a big time. Be a big, big time. So layer 2 space is only going to get bigger. In fact, it's going to be one of the biggest things happening in Ethereum for the coming few years, especially when you consider this, the Denkun upgrade. Now, this is already on the test net, so it means we're going to see mainnet release as soon as March, which just lines up perfectly, doesn't it? If we're getting an ETF in May and like late March, we get the EIP 4844 upgrade, this would matter. Now, what is this upgrade? This is the upgrade that will decrease the fees on Ethereum layer 2s, Arbitrum, Optimism, Linea, ZK Sync, Starknet, all this stuff by 10 to 100x. Now, even a 10x decrease in fees is going to be massive. Right now, it costs $1.50, $2, let's say $3 maybe sometimes to do some more complex transactions on some of these layer 2s. Sometimes it's a bit cheaper, depends on which layer 2 network you're using too. Okay, let's just say $2 as a sort of round figure here. 10x is down to 20 cents, 100x is down to 2 cents. At 2 cents, even 20 cents, you're relatively competitive with cheap layer 1s like Solana. At 2 cents, you're definitely competitive. Now you're going to say, okay, but Solana only costs 1/10 of a cent. Yeah, but who doesn't have 2 cents to make a transaction on Starknet or whatever?
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
Very big potential here.
This guy's into a lot of airdrop stuff too. So
a massive amount of capital takeoff on Ethereum layer 2s with this upgrade. And then, of course, we have this, which is like the crazy house of cards that
I just want to say one thing, right? With these airdrop stuff, like, yes, some of it's legit, a lot of it is like fake bullshit that'll just compromise your wallet. So if I can suggest anything, if you guys are gonna wanna participate in any type of airdrop where you need to like swap some sort of coins, make a separate wallet, send just minimal amount to it, use it to do your transaction bullshit, and then just keep that wallet off to the side after you empty everything out of it. And then, you know, hopefully you're eligible for the airdrop or whatever. Just don't like keep all your shit in the wallet that you're trying to link to some sort of airdrop, just in case you get compromised. Okay, especially with MetaMask, it's like the worst platform to do it on. But you can literally lose a lot of money. I've seen a lot of people in the last, actually right after the bull run, there was a few people in the community that got freaking whacked and just completely wiped out. So just please, if you're gonna do any airdrop stuff, just make sure you don't have a lot of funds in there.
ETH is building right now, the Eigen layer. Now, I covered this the other day, by the way, in a video. It's like the top 10 guaranteed airdrops or something like that. You should go watch this video if you're interested in learning about how to get some free money from the Eigen layer airdrop.
See, a lot, like I said, a lot of it is, yeah, it's legit. Like you can get the free money, but like there's always risks, and there's some of the risks are too high for me, and I'm not going to do it unless I have a separate wallet that's just like whatever. You know what I mean?
We're going to the biggest airdrops in crypto in 2024. Plus, there's all these different layers that are building on top of it, like Kelp, DAO, and Ether.
All right, I think I'm going to stop this. He's going to keep talking about that shit. But anyways, the Ethereum information was good. Guys, think about it. Like I said, it's not, again, it's not about like, do you like Ethereum, okay? Take your emotions, throw them in the fucking trash can, all right? You want to talk shit or you want to make money, pay attention and see what is going on in the space, okay? Ethereum, if the ETF is approved or comes to, you know, fruition, it's going to do the same shit that Bitcoin did. Bunch of jump in and then, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news, I guess, if you want to call it that. Sure. All right. The greatest crypto explanation of all time in under 20 minutes. Let's see. Mr. Altcoin Daily actually didn't really talk at all in this video, but he did take a, I don't know if it was like it wasn't a press conference, what do you call it? I don't know, like a seminar or something. This dude's up on stage talking about Bitcoin, kind of explaining it. So let's see what he's got to say over here, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Let's do it.
Drug dealers, pornographers, criminals. Guess what? That's what they said at the first conference in 1993 about the internet. They were wrong then, they're wrong now.
Facts.
This is the greatest crypto explanation of all time.
But what is Bitcoin? The world is about to change. More than 1,000 other cryptocurrencies have been created, and this is going to change the world faster than the spread of cell phones.
If you have a
Facts.
friend that doesn't quite understand cryptocurrency, send him or her
I haven't
this.
had a chance.
They will
I haven't
thank
had a chance to watch this, so I want to see how good this guy's speech is.
The children born today will not know a world in which banks exist.
You know what? That's crazy to think about, actually. And you know what? Children that are like, what, only, however old Bitcoin is, whenever it was created, right? Like they've only, what, 16 years or something, 15 years? They're 15-year-olds. They've always grown up in a world where this coin has existed. It's crazy to think about.
It's so good to be at a conference about the internet because I remember my first internet conference. It was in 1992. There were about 100 people there. All of them were computer scientists or computer science students. And despite the fact that we were telling the entire world that the world was about to change, no one believed us. At least no one believed me because I was 19 years old and awkward and shy, so that wasn't working so well. But it taught me one thing. It taught me to trust my instincts because, in fact, it did change the world. My second book is called The Internet of Money, and the reason for that...
Has anybody here read that, actually? The Internet of Money? I have not, but it's been on my list of ones to look into.
Because the technology I'm going to talk about today is about to transform the world in equal measure, and will also transform the internet itself. Bitcoin, an invention created on January 3rd, 2009 by an anonymous creator, unleashed as an open source project, built by a community of volunteers, run as a peer-to-peer network, derided, laughed at, ignored for the first 5-6 years. Not so much anymore. People are beginning to pay attention, just like with the internet. Things that were previously unthinkable are now thinkable. People are beginning to notice that this is something more than what they are told. And what are they told? Drug dealers, pornographers, criminals. Guess what? That's what they said at the first conference in 1993 about the internet. They were wrong then, they're wrong now. And every time you meet someone who is a dentist who uses Bitcoin or a hairdresser who uses Bitcoin,
I was thinking about starting my business back up and just plumbing for Bitcoin. That's what I'm gonna call it. Don't steal my idea.
Undermines that silly narrative. Bitcoin is a
That'd be
protocol,
amazing.
and what better stage to talk about a protocol? And the moment you start talking about Bitcoin and thinking about Bitcoin, it brings up a very difficult question. What is money? And most of us, turns out, from all of the conversations I've had with thousands of people around the world, have no idea what money is or how it works. It's one of those technologies that is so deeply embedded in our culture that it has become completely invisible to us. In fact, we don't even need to think about money unless it stops working. Some countries, they realize that it stops working, and then everybody has interesting things to say about what money is. But what is money? At its very basic level, money isn't value. In fact, you use money to get things of value, products or services, but there is no value in the money itself. And money isn't a construct of authority. We seem to think that these days because all of our money comes from certain authoritative sources. Some guy with a crown says that this is your money, it's your money, and that's the authority it comes from. But what if money could be created without authority? What if money could be created simply through use? It turns out that what money really is a language. Money is a language that human beings created to express value to each other. As a language, is one of the fundamental constructs of civilization that allows us to exceed what's known as the Dunbar number. The Dunbar number is the maximum number of individuals who can operate in a tribe on the basis of kinship, of acquaintance. But if you want two tribes to work together, you need some common bond. And these bonds have included culture, language, religion, and yes, money, a fundamental construct that allows us to exceed the scale of a single tribe and engage in commerce with others on a greater scale. And as our money has evolved, it has been able to evolve its scale to allow us to collaborate and engage in commerce on a greater level. But money is also, ironically, a system of control, because controlling money confers great power to those who control it. And as a result, kings and governments have always held a very tight control over money, pretty much like they used to hold over religion for pretty much the same reasons. And now that has changed. On January 3rd, 2009, the world changed because some person created a peer-to-peer protocol, a flat network with no servers, all clients, that is able to express money as a content type. As internet professionals, you may understand what I mean when I say money as a content type. Money that is expressed purely as data that can be transmitted using any communication medium that can convey information. A Bitcoin transaction doesn't need to be transmitted over the Bitcoin network, although that's a convenient way to do it. You could encode it in Skype emojis. You could write it up and put it in a Craigslist ad. You could post it on Facebook in the background of a picture of kittens playing with yarn. Money as pure information on an open network that is simultaneously uncensorable, open to anyone, neutral, and global. There are no borders on this new technology, just like there are no borders on the internet. Everyone can access it because it is not a product. It is not a company. You do not need to register for an account. You simply download the client. And a Bitcoin client is very much like a web browser. It is the user interface that speaks the protocol to other Bitcoin clients out there. And as soon as you download that one application, you can join a global economy. And that global economy is open to anyone of any race, religion, creed, ethnicity, age, anywhere in the world. For most people, this concept hasn't yet quite sunk in.
It's going to take a while for it to sink in, to be honest. Guys, that like button, please. Let's get to 100 likes. We have 60, 135 people here.
The children born today will not know a world in which banks exist. They will not know a world...
Do you guys think that is true, actually? Do you think banks will go away? Kids that are born today? Like when they grow up, 16, 18?
In which paper money exists, any more than many of the young people in our industry today have no idea what the world used to look like before the internet. How many of you here remember libraries and looking up reference cards? Okay, you're over 40, so am I. Gotcha. But the children born today will never drive a car. They'll never have a world without the internet, and they also will never know a world where banks control money, where money is issued only by kings, only by nation states. Money will be an integral protocol of the internet, a content type that can be transmitted by anyone, anywhere.
Shit, I remember freaking like when GPSs were a thing, when they first came out, when it was like, dude, what is this wizardry? Like, we didn't have to look in this freaking map book to go find the job site anymore. What the hell?
But that's not
I'm not even that old.
Let's make it more fun. Every form of money until today has to have a person behind it. Money can only be owned and managed by people, or people together forming an association, a legal fiction called a corporation. Not with Bitcoin. It's a protocol. Autonomous agents can own and manage money themselves. No people required. Imagine a corporation with no directors, no shareholders, no employees, running entirely based on scripted learning, machine learning, or maybe just a few simple heuristic rules.
Yeah, AI is going to fuck us all up.
That operates autonomously of any human action and can manage budgets in the amounts of billions of dollars. Now, at this point in the audience, we have a split. Some people are thinking, oh no, that sounds terrible. What if it's a virus? What if it's intelligent ransomware that self-propagates and buys Amazon Web Service systems so that it can grow when it's successful? What if it starts running A/B testing on itself by hiring programmers to make itself better? Yeah, all of that's going to happen. But what if it's a charity? What if it's an intelligent charity that can detect the emergence of a natural disaster and automatically and instantaneously divert large funds directly to the people most in need without human intervention? And unlike...
Dude, this guy talking's like, he's sketching me out with all this AI shit. Because I've been really contemplating on buying a couple 4090s just because I feel like I'm going to miss the boat if I don't have some baseline compute at my house. And yeah, I don't know, have you guys felt the same way about the whole AI thing lately, watching any type of news or stuff? I feel like it's been way more than I'm used to seeing, and it's just like, it's getting me to the point where I'm like, shit, like, do I need to have some stuff so I can potentially build something once the time comes?
Most charities today, 100% of the funds donated go to those in need. The world is about to change. Self-driving cars? How about self-owning cars? Cars that are not owned by a corporation, cars that are a corporation.
You just start like an Uber, I don't know, something along those lines. You just have like a fleet of Teslas that just drive themselves. You don't even need workers. You imagine that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
That pay for their electricity or gas, maintenance and leasing fees by giving rides to human beings who pay them in cryptocurrencies. Imagine software such as intelligent articles that propagate across the internet as content and expand their reach because people read them. And as a result, they're able to buy more hosting services so they can expand their reach. This is not your grandparents' money. It's not your parents' money. This is money that is fully programmable, scriptable, that has capabilities that can be finely tuned. You can specify who can access it and when, how it can be dispersed. A whole new field has opened up, which is now called smart contracts. This system allows people to program the behavior of entire systems that can also manage money.
Real quick, Broski's in the chat said the blockchain is a brain. If you look at it, a supercomputer brain. We are building the AI's brain. I don't think you're wrong at all, actually.
Money is such a narrow word to describe this because we use things that kind of look like money all the time but aren't really money. What about loyalty points, tokens, subway cards, airline miles?
Yeah.
What about expression of a fan of Justin Bieber with full access to the catalog of music as a token? What about all of the other brands that can be turned into tokens and made into a global exchangeable system directly on the internet through this internet protocol?
Shit, this is a really good speech from this guy. I'm not gonna lie. This has got my brain moving. It's too early for this shit.
January 3rd, 2009, the world changed. Since then, more than 1,000 other cryptocurrencies have been created using the same recipe, almost all of them open source, and they're expanding in all directions, exploring every possible niche of this ecosystem, every tiny variation in capabilities and features, creating new markets which are raising funds for thousands of startups around the world. Thousands of engineers, software engineers, developers are training to use this new technology. The internet itself is changing very rapidly. Now we have autonomous agents that are using money on the internet, and these are, in many cases, beyond the controls of any jurisdiction.
And that's why they're so scared about this. Being able to control you with, like, you know, the US dollar. Like the government's not going to be able to control you anymore. And I think they see it coming, and there's not going to be much they can do about it at some point. And like, if you don't wake up and open your eyes or smell the coffee, you know, you're going to be left behind. Like, it's period.
What are the large corporations going to do with this new magical, open, decentralized, neutral, borderless, censorship-resistant network?
Like, shit, I think Elon Musk actually just did the Neuralink thing. I think they just got it in the first patient, and the dude's like recovering fine, or well, I guess. It's like AI is going to be absolutely insane. Linked with blockchain technology, it's going to change the world 100%.
They're going to say, great, we'd like that, but could you take out the open, decentralized, borderless, neutral, censorship-resistant properties and package it with an SLA, a 12-month license, and control? Control for us. They will take the internet and they will make intranets. They will make closed gardens of boring, stale content that is fundamentally insecure, that sits in the backyards of corporations, adding a tiny bit of value, but outside of the participation of the global community, insulated from the wave of innovation that is happening all around us. They will create these intranets. They will claim victory. They will turn around and they will say, we invented blockchain. And they will be wrong, and they will fail. Because the real principle, the real exciting thing about this technology, it's not the blockchain, which is a database artifact that is created out of this protocol. It is the ability to achieve distributed consensus among parties that don't trust each other across great distances, without any central party, without any authority, without any intermediary. And that consensus from the outside looks chaotic. It looks messy. It looks weird. Well, everyone in this room already knows something that is open, flat, weird, and is not understood by corporations. The internet. We already did it.
I thought he was going to say the world, and then hot crypto mining was going to be triggered. The flat earth comments.
Once, we're going to do it again. And this time, we're going to bring the entire world with us. In the background of this grand story, there's another story that's playing out. After 25 years of the internet, It still takes 3 to 5 days to send money from here to a country that's not in Europe. It will still cost you 30, 40 US dollars to send money. And that's only if the country you're sending it to isn't a poor country, in which case it will cost far more and take far longer. A giant network of centralized, closed, corrupt systems that are sucking money out of the poorest people on this planet. In 2017, 2.5 billion people do not have access to banking. That means they have zero access to banking, cash-based only, and that's only counting heads of household, not their spouses, not their children. Clearly, they don't matter. That's
wow, that's messed up.
According to the International Monetary Bank. Now, imagine what happens if you bring banking to an app, to a $20 Android, to everyone who has a smartphone. 3.5 to 4 billion people are on the internet today. Just over 1 billion people of those have banking, have full access to financial services. We're going to bring it to the other 6 billion fast. And this is going to change the world faster than the spread of cell phones. Imagine a $20 Android landing in a village in Kenya, and it's no longer just a communications device. It's a bank. Not a bank account, a bank. It can wire and receive funds from anywhere in the world. It can do lending or receive lending for a mortgage, to buy seeds for a field, to bring disaster relief. It can internationally connect every person on this planet, and we can do this within the next 10 years. The world will radically transform when you bring the capability of a broad economic inclusion to everyone in this world. Now, you would think that banks want to do this. You'd be wrong. It's not really profitable serving people who have little money, little connectivity, no access to ID in oppressed countries with terrible governments. Also, in most of those countries, the banks are criminals. They are criminal organizations, or really quite indistinguishable from the local mob. So how do we fix that? Up to now, the approach for all of these technologies, whether it was PayPal or any of the other technologies we've seen emerge in financial technology very, very slowly, was to carefully and politely ask for permission. Bitcoin is not asking for permission. We forgot to do that. And so we will proceed in banking the entire world without asking for anyone's permission. This protocol is now spreading. And if this one gets shut down, a 14-year-old with a copy of my book can rebuild it in a weekend in any programming language and launch it again with its new name. And again, and again, and again, until we succeed.
That's crazy.
The world is now connected. Finance is now an application, and money is a content type. Welcome to our new planet.
Be sure to click.
Holy shit. That was an amazing speech that the guy just gave. What was his name? I don't even know his name. Did he say it? I don't even know. I gotta check. Let me see.
It's so good to be at a to change. More than 1,000 drug dealers.
No, I don't think he said his name. Does anybody know his name? Let me know. That was friggin' insane. This guy's a G, though. I kind of want to find that original link and post that on my channel, because that's very educational for people to understand. That's a really good thing for people to know. Anyways, all right, guys, let's see. We're gonna be getting into we're just gonna recap some stuff. You guys want to talk about anything specific before we get out of here? We're gonna be raiding Crypto Mikkel in just a second. Everything is in the red now. What's happening? What is happening?
Eat shit, Gary.
Let's see. What's he selling? I want some. Yeah, seriously, Team JFK. That was the craziest speech I think I've ever heard. No joke. To this day. I mean, there's another one that's pretty good, but there was nothing like that. That really messed up my my brain this morning. DM'd you his channel. Thank you, Chris Bagnell. That was a really good video, and I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. All right, let's see. What else? What other coins you guys into? Just before we get out of here. What other coins? Let's see. All right, his name is Elon Bot AI. That's great. 330142. Yeah, right. No shit. Yeah, that guy was like a robot when he was speaking. Let me see. I could send $100,000 right now to my cousin down in Mexico to one of the cartels. Boom. The only problem, it would be traceable and on the blockchain. Yeah, or trackable on the blockchain. Yeah, that's 100%. That's true. So yeah, that's so like when they say like, you know, criminals or money launderers or whatever, it's like, dude, you can freaking trace everything on Bitcoin. Everything. The US dollar, you ain't catching the dude buying a dime bag in the end of his road to the freaking drug dealer with 10 bucks. You know, it's just, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. People even call it dime bags anymore. I have no idea. Oh, let's see. All right, no more banks, no more USD. Yeah, USD is, yeah, I mean, it's gonna go away. Everything's gonna go digital eventually, but how long is it gonna take? I guess that's really the biggest thing here, biggest question here. All right, let's see. Render's doing pretty good. Render's been doing very well actually over the year. It's listed on Coinbase. You guys don't know, apparently it's a DPIN project. I'm not sure how. If anybody can explain that to me, that'd be great. Let's see. Crypto Lard, let me see. I posted a Raspberry Pi mining question on Discord in general chat. Please help. All right, I'll check it out. I don't know. You know what? Matt Electron is actually a really good dude for Raspberry Pi stuff. You have questions for that? He's usually pretty good. All right, guys. I think that's it. I don't think anybody has any questions. I don't think anybody has any questions. So we're going to be getting out of here. We're going to raid Mr. Crypto Mikkel. If you guys would please hit that like button on the way out, I would appreciate it. If you guys, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tonight, actually. Tonight we're going to be doing Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live. And yeah, tomorrow I'll see, well, not tomorrow, Monday. I'll see you guys Monday morning for the daily grind again. Guacamole. Guacamole. You want to look at this? All right, let's look at guacamole real quick, you bastard. I know. GUAC. Here it is. This is your favorite coin. Your favorite coin. How's it been doing, actually? Let's go to the year. It's actually still up. Oh my god. Man, how much money did you make off this? Please tell me. Please tell me. Dan R. Or Nismo. Please tell me. How much money have you guys made off this? I hope it's a lot, because that's insane. All right, we're getting out of here. Getting out of here, because I'm losing my train of thought. All right, guys. Have a good day. I will catch you soon. Go raid Crypto Mikkel. Peace out.
You guys don't get to 100 likes. I'm going to show you my cleavage.